Olá, meu nome é Larry, dos canais A Verdade com Larry. E esse é mais um Pensando, oculto, novos temas. Hoje, nosso simbolista Arnaldo Luquezzi Cardoso trará o tema Pêndulo, uma abordagem científica e esotérica. Olá, Arnaldo, tudo bem?
Hello, Larry. How are you?
Vamos lá, por favor,
Well,
apresente.
sure. Taking an esoteric and scientific approach to pendulums, we have that radiesthesia is an accepted science and its study and practice is widespread in many parts of the world. For its practice, there is a range of instruments specially designed for this purpose, including the pendulum, which has been known since ancient times. In this video, I would like to go into the scientific aspect of using the pendulum in a little more detail, emphasizing the mental process as it interacts with the human brain and nervous system, the subtle network of information. According to Wikipedia, the noosphere can be seen as the sphere of human thought, a definition derived from the Greek word nous, or mind, in a similar sense to the atmosphere and biosphere. In Vernadsky's original theory, the noosphere would be the third stage in the Earth's development, after the geosphere, inanimate matter, and the biosphere, biological life. Just as the emergence of life significantly transformed the geosphere, the emergence of human knowledge and the consequent effects of applied sciences on nature also altered the biosphere. In, in French, philosopher Teilhard de Chardin's concept of the noosphere, just as there is the atmosphere, there is also the world of ideas made up of cultural products, their spirit, language, theories, and knowledge. Following this thought, we feed the noosphere when we think and communicate. Extending this vision, we can imagine an immense subtle mesh that holds an enormous amount of information that is shared by all its nodes, in this case, each individual endowed with more complex mental functions, where phenomena such as telepathy and precognition arise. We have real-time sharing of information, both about events that are happening and events that have already happened, in which case we are referring to the Akashic records, which can be understood as archives of the soul. Most human beings are unable to direct access the immense ocean of information, a veritable internet of the spirit, and humanity has created systems and instruments that capture this range of signals, which in turn are recorded and interpreted by properly trained people. Here we have the various divination systems, tarot, runes, I Ching, astrology, etc., and instruments more related to science, such as radiesthesia, radionics, psychotronics, and the like. The pendulum, in my personal view, has more affinities with the latter category because in most of its practical use, we are basically measuring energy and radiating energy, in this case consciously. As with the World Wide Web, each person is a node in its subtle network, and your personal computer is your mind, your brain. There are very technologically advanced devices and, at the same time, individuals who are more physically sensitive or who can at least adapt through specific training. The main medium is the human body itself, where we have, in the case of mediumship, the phenomenon of psychography, where the medium's hand is a kind of a pendulum of flesh, which will move the pen, recording the information on the paper through which it moves. We can imagine a sequence, a kind of flowchart, where the information requested by the operator is found in the integrated transpersonal data field, among so much other information. This information has then been detected and is replicated in the operator's mind, since the original information must remain accessible to any other operator. The mind or consciousness is a non-material phenomenon, so it can't be measured precisely, but it acts as a wave that carries data, which is transmitted to the physical brain and encoded by it in the form of synapses or something similar to the commands of a program that are stored in the computer's memory or some kind of recorded media. And how is the data read? In the area of information technology, we have language levels that range from low-level language, machine language, to more sophisticated languages that allow for user-friendly interaction. In the case of mental information, it is necessary to establish a codification that is understood and that converts primary signals into verbal language, where the original question, formulated in the common language of people, obtains an equally formulated answer. The operator establishes an encoding through which the blocks of signals are emitted by the brain, pass through the neural network and reach the fingertips, causing micro oscillations that affect the wire or chain on which the pendulum is suspended, leading to oscillations forward or backwards, clockwise or anti-clockwise turns, agitation, when the pendulum is over an image, graphic sign, or specific material, etc. One of the most basic commands for establishing communication with the mind through the pendulum is the answer yes or no, where it is defined that a clockwise swing means yes and vice versa. In a practical example, the operator can ask if a plant is poisonous and, by positioning the pendulum over it, it will start swinging clockwise or counterclockwise in accordance with the established language. In the case of the pendulum, in the case of radiesthesia, we are receiving information, but it is also possible to send information in order to influence or cause changes to an organism or structure. Here we have the effects of radionics with a detailed example in our video about the Tepaphone on the Truth Larry, and it's worth a watch. Uses. The pendulum can be used in a huge variety of practical applications in everyday life, in various fields of human knowledge such as medicine, agriculture, business strategies, etc. With the help of specially designed graphs, a professional in this field can investigate and discover diseases and other malfunctions in an examined patient, as well as discover the best indications for treatment. A geologist can get a more complete picture of an area and the risks of building there. It's also possible to get an exact location of water wells, avoiding wasting time digging. It's possible to discover leaks in a home's plumbing system, as well as obtaining other information to support the application of the famous Feng Shui. A highly trained sensitive can help locate lost people. Objects can also be located, such as a car key that can't be found when you need to leave urgently. A human resource professional can make a more accurate selection for job candidates by analyzing their data with the help of pendulum. The use of pendulum, for example, should not be confused with the Ouija board, because in this case, there would be interference from an intelligent entity totally alien to the user's consciousness, and most of the time, according to what they know, there are intelligence of a disturbing and obsessive nature. Instruments. There is a wide variety of instruments used in radiesthesia and radionics. Examples include dual rod, orimeter, compass, pointer, copper cone, teleradiator, the famous charts, pyramids, and many others besides the pendulum itself. These instruments can be considered true extensions of the operator's own body. Ideally, the physical body and the subtle body, with its divisions, should be healthy and free of blockages that prevent the free flow of information, the information carrying energy. But in general, every human being is naturally capable of carrying out operations of this nature. Faulty electrical wiring causes a current leak. On the other hand, the more suitable the material used to produce the wires, the better the flow of electric current, and, in the case of it, the better the flow of data between the components of a computer. A well-trained operator, in good condition, will be able to both capture and interpret information from the subtle plane and emit vibrations, informing carrying energies in order to change a situation or influence a living organism. Thank you for your attention. I hope I have revived our audience's interest in the scientific aspects behind radiesthesia and the radionics experience, so that they are no longer seen as taboo or something from another world. It's up to you, Larry.
Arnaldo, obrigado. Temos algumas perguntas aqui. Eu vou te passar primeiro. É possível localizar objetos perdidos com um pêndulo?
Yes, with training and discipline, the practitioner will be able to detect objects, even when they are out of sight. An example is given in a manual on using the pendulum, where the practitioner was able to find the key that he couldn't find normally.
Ok. Uma segunda pergunta. É possível realizar uma cura através do pêndulo?
You need to understand that there are a few steps to get to a cure. A professional in the field first uses the pendulum to make a diagnosis and then consults some radiesthesia charts to determine the appropriate treatment to be followed.
Lembrando sempre, obviamente, de não dispensar o tratamento médico científico tradicional.
Correto.
Obviamente. Uma terceira pergunta. É possível prever o futuro através do pêndulo?
I believe that the pendulum is not exactly a premonitory instrument. Its basic functions is to detect energies and measure them. In any case, there is also an example in a manual where the pendulum is asked how soon an expected visit should arrive.
Interessante. Vamos à quarta pergunta. Qual o melhor tipo de pêndulo?
There is no best. There are pendulums made for each type of application, as stated in most radiesthesia manuals. In fact, for the practitioner who is just starting to study the science, it is said that the best type is the wooden pendulum. Okay, Larry, do you have anything to add?
Eu tenho, Arnaldo. A gente tem que lembrar que existe não só os gráficos ligados à radiestesia, mas existe atualmente, e está muito em voga hoje, a mesa radiônica, que ela é, na verdade, uma espécie de, como se fosse uma cartolina, um papel, onde você tem os chakras, tem um corpo humano, em geral ele pode ser atribuído ou a Saint Germain ou alguma outra entidade, e aí você vai usar o pêndulo na função de transceptor, ou seja, tanto ele vai sentir as vibrações da pessoa que seria o testemunho, ou seja, vai ter uma foto da pessoa, o nome completo da pessoa, a data de nascimento, ele vai sentir como está a pessoa à distância, vai fazer essa análise com a mesa radiônica e, a partir daí, sugere para a pessoa que está sendo consulente deste terapeuta da mesa radiônica, tá? Que tipo de operações radiônicas podem ser feitas nessa própria mesa, ou seja, olha, você vai precisar mexer mais com um chakra básico. Ah, não, você vai precisar mexer mais com a parte mental, ou de um reforço na parte emocional em tal questão. E aí, esse terapeuta vai paulatinamente, ou seja, todo dia ele vai fazendo como é que se fala? Uma utilização de energia mandada pelo pêndulo naquele ponto do mapa radiônico, atingindo a pessoa que é a testemunha. Ou seja, se eu fizesse em você, Arnaldo, e eu fosse esse terapeuta, você ia sentir isso no decorrer dos dias. Uma energia diferente sendo mexida à distância. Entenda. Então, isso aí é uma coisa interessante, porque atualmente tem, inclusive aqui no Brasil, alguns bons cursos ligados à mesa radiônica, que obviamente vai abordar a questão do pêndulo, tanto na questão da sensibilidade para sentir, né, para receber energia, como na função de transceptor, né, tanto de receber como para enviar energia para aquele determinado ponto, tá? Lembrando que, obviamente, aqui falando de uma maneira já especial para quem segue o nosso canal, também é possível fazer, só que é óbvio que a gente não recomenda, e a pessoa precisa ter a visão de que isso aí pode ser grave, porque você tem sempre o rebote de uma coisa dessas. Você pode fazer também no sentido negativo, ou seja, você mandar energia ruim para determinada coisa no corpo da pessoa, ou no corpo astral da pessoa, ou na questão do corpo mental, para manipular a pessoa ou fazer alguma coisa até como uma vingança ou alguma coisa assim. Mas é óbvio que isso já é uma aplicação que a pessoa precisa ser o que eu chamo de super maduro e super adulto para aceitar o rebote, aceitar, ter a coragem de fazer isso, tá? Basicamente é isso que eu tinha a complementar, Arnaldo. Tem mais alguma observação sobre isso que eu falei?
No, it's perfect. Your explanation is perfect.
Então, basicamente é isso. Peço que nos sigam em nossos canais, Na Verdade com Larry. Até a próxima. Até logo, Arnaldo.
See you later.